So what if I told you that you could literally rewire your brain structure in just a few minutes a day? Today, we're digging into the hard science that shows how meditation isn't just some mental exercise, it's a physical one.
And this is the core idea we're going to unpack. Just 8 minutes a day strengthens your brain's gray matter. Now, I know, it sounds like a pretty bold claim, almost too good to be true. So let's get into the mechanics of it. How is this even physically possible? What's actually happening inside your head?
All right, first up, the surprising science. If you think meditation is just about, passively sitting still and zoning out, think again. MRI studies are now revealing that it's an incredibly powerful and active training exercise for your brain.
And this really gets to the heart of it. Meditation isn't just a mental break, it's a structured activity that physically alters your brain's hardware. You got to think of it less like resting on the couch and more like taking your brain to the gym for a really targeted workout.
And what's so fascinating is just how specific these changes are. MRI scans show two major shifts happening. First, the hippocampus. That's your brain's hub for memory and emotional balance. It actually shows an increase in gray matter density. It gets measurably stronger. And at the same time, the amygdala, your brain's little alarm system for stress and fear, it becomes less active. So you're literally building up your emotional regulation center while turning down the volume on your stress response. Pretty amazing, right?
Which brings us to the perfect analogy, the mental gym. But how does this whole rewiring thing actually work on a neural level? Let's take a look.
Okay, so to understand rewiring, you first have to understand neural pathways. Think of these as the communication highways in your brain. It's kind of like a trail in a forest, right? The more you walk down a certain path, the wider and more defined it becomes. Well, the exact same thing happens in your brain. The more you repeat certain thoughts and actions, the stronger those neural roots get.
So when you meditate, what pathways are you strengthening? Well, every single time you practice, you are actively firing up and reinforcing the neural networks for things like focus, calmness, and emotional regulation. You're basically training your brain to make these states your new default setting.
The science is definitely solid, but what does this look like in the real world? In practice? Well, this is where it gets incredibly simple. You don't need hours a day for this. All it really takes is 8 minutes. That's right, just 8 minutes. Studies are showing that this small daily time commitment is actually enough to produce measurable benefits. We're talking a better ability to stay focused on tasks, a real reduction in that background anxiety, and an increase in what scientists call cognitive flexibility, which is just your brain's ability to adapt to new info and switch between tasks. And the routine itself? It couldn't be simpler. You just sit comfortably and follow a breathing pattern. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 2, and then a long, slow exhale for 6. But the real workout, the most important part, is step 5. Because your mind will wander. That's what minds do. The exercise is just noticing that, and without any judgment, gently guiding your attention back to your breath. Every single time you do that, you've just completed 1 rep for your focus muscle.
You know, the best way to really understand the impact is to feel it for yourself. So let's frame this as a little personal experiment, the 7-day challenge. This is your chance to stop just hearing about the benefits and actually start experiencing them.
And hey, don't get discouraged if you think it's going to take ages to notice anything. The whole principle of neuroplasticity means your brain is literally designed to change, and these shifts can begin much faster than most people realize. You really don't have to wait months to start feeling a difference.
So here's the challenge. For 1 week, just commit to that 8-minute routine every single day. You don't need any special tools. Just consciously check in with yourself on these 3 things: your stress levels, your ability to focus, and your overall mood. Just observe. See if anything changes.
So what's the ultimate payoff for this small daily investment? Well, it's a clearer mind that's less prone to distraction. It's steadier emotions, less reactive to stress. And, as we've seen, it's a literally stronger, healthier, and more resilient brain.
So we've covered the science and we've walked through the super simple routine. A calmer, more focused mind isn't about luck. It's a trainable skill, and it's built on a real physical foundation. All that's left is one question. Are you ready to start your 8-minute brain workout?